hair implants than Beyonce and her colorful wigs. You don't want to mess with this couple. Let me tell you. You don't want to mess with them. You don't want to play with it. Oh no. Hit the like button, good people coming through the door. It's your boy Carcito here. Let's get into it. Now, you often bring me and drag me into these sad scenarios and situations. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And you love it. You get a kick out of it. Let's get to the 911 call. Because the 911 call went out, and I'm going to let you know. You don't play with these people, because it gets crazy. Mad crazy. Now,
music from a car at Atlanta's Krog Street Market. Roxana has the latest on this for us.
Atlanta police say the thieves got away with several items, including some unreleased music from the Grammy Award-winning singer. This all happened days before Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour kicked off 4 shows here in Atlanta.
Someone broke into my car.
Just days before Grammy Award-winning singer Beyonce begins a 4-show run in Atlanta, thieves get away with several items belonging to the superstar. Atlanta police say the break-in happened at a parking deck for Krog Street Market last Tuesday. According to an incident report, Beyonce's choreographer and one of her dancers parked in the deck for about an hour and came back to find the trunk window of their rented Jeep damaged and 2 suitcases gone.
I was parked in the garage while I went to a restaurant, but they stole like my computers and everything, but it has a tracker on it.
The report says several hard drives were stolen that included watermarked and unreleased music for Beyonce and footage plans for her shows.
It's following them because it's on Find My, like Find My iPhone. They have my computers, and it's really, really important information in there. Like I work with someone who is like of a high status, and I really need the my computer and everything.
Police say cameras from the parking deck did capture the incident. Authorities also used the Find My app to search for a computer and a pair of missing headphones. Atlanta police are using the incident as a reminder to always remove valuables from your car. We're told officers also dusted for fingerprints at that scene, and they were able to recover 2 very light prints. There's also apparently a warrant out for a suspect, although they have not released that person's name.
now, immediately, once they found out who it was, who here has had something broken into, and the cops show up to investigate, how many times have they dusted for prints? How many times have they dusted for prints? How many times do they come out and they dust for your prints? Think about that. They come out there and they just gonna all of a sudden say, you know what? Let's start dusting for prints. It don't happen.
Well,
It was because it was Beyonce. This is Beyonce stuff? Oh.
Well, continuing coverage of this at 4 o'clock, a man accused of stealing unreleased Beyonce music pleaded not guilty in a Fulton County courtroom today. You might remember Kelvin Evans. He was arrested in September. Police say that he stole several items from a vehicle in a Krog Street parking deck 2 days before her first Cowboy Carter tour stop here in Atlanta in July. Now, police were able to ping the location of some of those stolen items to different addresses in the Atlanta area. We also know that Evans is expected to be back in court on February 11th.
Now, on February 11th, he's going back into court. Now, did this man know what was in the car? Or was it just another Atlanta? So now, listen to what happened.
Still in unreleased Beyonce music faced a judge today. Police say Kelvin Evans broke into a car belonging to the singer's team during the Cowboy Carter tour stop in Atlanta last year. Atlanta News First Nehemiah Watson is live outside the Fulton County Courthouse. Nehemiah, what exactly happened in court here?
Well, Kelvin Evans pleaded not guilty during his arraignment hearing today. He faces charges of trying to enter a car with intent to commit theft and criminal trespass.
Mr. Evans is on for plea and arraignment. What is y'all's announcement?
Your Honor, we plead not guilty.
Evans appeared before a judge through Zoom. He was appointed a public defender. A police report states 2 days before Beyonce's first show at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in July, her choreographer and a dancer said their rental car had been broken into in a parking deck on Krog Street. Evans allegedly stole several items, including 5 jump drives containing unreleased Beyonce music, show plans, and a MacBook Pro. His next court appearance is set for February 11th for case management. Live outside the Fulton County Courthouse, I'm Nehemiah Watson, Atlanta News First.
Now, what does this tell you, ladies and gentlemen? What does this signify? It's quite clear what's transpiring here. Do you know that that man is still locked up in jail behind bars? He has not been offered bail. He's saying like somebody who was just a tweaker, right? Just stumbled across a bag that he normally would just steal and take. And that's that. But what happened after that? You know the thumbnail that you see? That was deliberately taken by Z and Beyonce. Why would Jay-Z deliberately take a photo? That's not AI. He literally posed for that photograph. A very demonic presence as the influence behind Beyonce. Do you know that pose that he's doing on that thumbnail is the symbol of influence in a negative way? With the one eye. Now, with all of this happening and transpiring, why are they doing it? Well, Tony Busby, everybody was talking about old Tony Busby. Tony Busby did. Tony Busby still fighting cases right now, just ain't in the news. TMZ stopped mentioning Jay-Z and Beyonce together. Once that news got out that they was grabbing Beyonce stuff, Jay got Live Nation and Rock Nation them involved. which brought in special police officers. Oh, yeah. You don't mess with these two. They're dangerous. They're gatekeepers. You remember the moment Beyonce never could win Album of the Year? And she finally won it for the worst album of the year, Cowboy Carter. She wasn't showing up. Look at Jay. All right, we got to make sure we thank so-and-so. He's got to tell her who to thank when she goes up there, because now she's got Album of the Year. She won all these Grammys. But it ain't enough because she never won Album of the Year. Well, Beyonce's never had an Album of the Year. She'd have a couple of songs, but the rest of the album sound like shit. But, hey, can't tell them nothing. Beyonce won it. Beyonce get it. Kanye exposed it. She's never forgiven him. Here's where things get sticky. Now, you know I have my Patreon, and all you guys should be Patreon members. Yeah, so I appreciate you guys who supported the Patreon. But there's so much going on behind the scenes that others just don't know. We've been documenting it all. They're part of a protective psyop. And they're protected. Their activities go unnoticed and unreported. So when Cappy brought up the thing about Beyonce, everybody thought she was just a wild, crazy woman. When she was at the event with Beyonce, they were at the title event. And Cappy was with Beyonce and Jay. But she arrived in the white van with Beyonce. And she remembered how they were being moved around in vans. But she got doped up. And she can only remember like spots of moments. But she do remember being there. And she was there. But they'll never show you them two together. Now, when I ran into Jay-Z at the fight, I told you, and I snapped this picture of Beyonce and Jay at the fight. See how Jay was focused on me? And I zoomed in to take this picture because I didn't get that close to Beyonce. But you see how Jay was focused directly on me? Like, how dare you? How dare you take a photo? I don't want no pictures. Now, let that settle in, right? The things that they've done collectively to artists would have had them locked up. Both of them. She would have went down as an accessory. They have stolen artists' music and careers and left those artists out to dry. Mm-hmm. You don't get to the top playing clean. Well, you gotta remember some things here. I want you guys to focus. What would they be locked up for? Well, there's a lot. The interference of artists, the tax evasions. Unlike Shakira, they were able to get away with it. Not paying property taxes in 2 years on the property. And Beyonce wearing this outfit, wearing the chicken outfit from the racist people, and Beyonce wore that outfit. You never saw Beyonce wear this ever again. You never saw this ever again. She wears this at a basketball game. You think that's an accident? Tone deaf. The people around her told her that would be okay. But then they wanted to put a spin on it saying, oh, she was bringing awareness. Nah, that wasn't awareness. So we have exposed everything. Beyonce can't leave. She's so tied up with Jay-Z legally, she can never leave Jay-Z. Even if she wants to, she can't. They destroyed everyone who was come in contact with them. Oh, they always say Sino don't know what he's talking about. Where is Sino at on the Patreon? The Billionaire Building Sessions. I'm in the room with the wealthy 1%. There's your boy Sino in the room with the wealthy 1%. But that's neither here nor there. You remember Carrie Hilson, who wrote for Beyonce? Once that leaked out, destruction of their career. What about our sister Solange? What about the Pimp C connection? Now, Pimp C never slept with Beyonce. But don't mean oh, it's gonna get deeper. You know Ivory Park is gone, right? Beyonce clothing line. But let me play you a little something on the Patreon. What Jay and they were doing because the sales weren't coming in. I'm gonna show you a little something. I had to go through great lengths to get all this for you.
Advertise Beyonce. That's what's gonna sell it.
Beyonce and her Brazilian butt lift.
When Jay-Z the
And to sell the clothes, Beyonce is gonna model all of her clothes.
was her Brazilian, what they call the Brazilian butt lift.
So Beyonce has her new butt, and she couldn't wait to show it off. So she wants to show it off in the most craziest way. And whose idea was it? Allow me to reintroduce myself. Now, her and Khalees. Because Pharrell used to give her tracks and everything else based on what happened with Khalees. Pimp C knows them forever. Before Beyonce and them really hit, it was working with, managing them and all of that, was Pimp C mama them. Pimp C family and Beyonce family, they're like family. Period. And I'm talking about Pimp C and Matthew Knowles and all them. Like his first group he ever managed was attached to Pimp C now. Period. So Pimp has always been around them. But y'all just didn't know that. We exposed everything on the Patreon, including this. Jay-Z and Beyonce's secret, not secret no more, $35 million mansion in the middle of the ocean. You need a boat to get there or a helicopter. $35 million. Jay and Beyonce bought this little island. So that way, whatever happens here, nobody can. What's wrong with that? Buddy, there's so much wrong with that you don't even understand. Now, if something happens here, it's on they own this land, this property. No one can tell them what to do. Their own guidelines. Do you know what all is hiding there? I know what's in there, but things are being hidden there. And no one has the jurisdiction to go in there. Maritime rights. That's the key, to take one of the angels and turn them dark. That's what they want. We got to take the angel and turn her dark. Take her out of her light. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he's not Hove anymore. He's Sean. When he's over here, he's Sean. Oh, who is that guy? That's one of the biggest devil worshippers in the world, who hypnotize people and believe them and lure them into Satanism. All the celebrities. All the signs they be throwing up. Throw up your signs. This is the Rihanna video. They had Rihanna do this. And look. All of it. Yeah, that's why. Why would Jay have Rihanna do that? Pose. So when she got away from Jay-Z and got away from all that deviltry, that's when she started to really shine. Oh, we exposed all of it, buddy boy. See, they were trying to put Rihanna, to marry this guy, this rich billionaire. She didn't want to do it. She didn't want to be with him. It was arranged. This is for you. This is the man we got for you. Another wicked individual. They were taking her down the same road they took Beyonce. She didn't want to go. She got out of the spell. So let me explain to you more what's going on. We're going to show you more. Y'all want to see some more? Now, this is my Patreon stuff. This is Beyonce's video. You see them all standing in the water, holding their arms, and everybody said, this is angelic. No, you know what this is? This is a mass suicide. Put into the video. Y'all think this is like a mass baptism or something? They all holding hands? No, it's a mass suicide. And Beyonce is leading them to a mass sacrifice, the same way Charlie Manson did. Remember I told you guys what was happening in Hollywood, that it's not a joke, that this is who they go to instead of church? They go to people like him. You know who that guy is? This is a guy who hypnotized celebrities and get them to do what he needs them to do. He's a hypnotherapist. That's Joseph Klunk. He's one of the Hollywood's top. You never see him on your commercials or nothing. He's Hollywood known. And this is what he does. He hypnotized people for a living. Like Beyonce, Jay-Z, they get them to quit smoking, quit eating chocolate. And that's how it starts. Next thing you know, you're in the sunken place. This is all real. None of this is fake. It's all real. That's not blah, blah, blah. It's not, we're going to make this up. This is all real. That guy book is real. All the stuff they've done is real. Serena Williams. Remember how pretty she used to be, Serena? She started hanging out with Beyonce, and now look at her. Khalees and Sierra, they were coming up next to Beyonce, and they were having success. And Beyonce had to stop that. The powers that be had to cancel that. And who's coming in to be just as worse as Beyonce? Blue Ivy, the surrogate. She is as nasty of an attitude. She checks Beyonce. She's Beyonce's manager. And she's like 12 or 13 years old. Beyonce listens to her. She gets dictated to by Beyonce. She's the reason that Solange and Beyonce ain't talking. Because Solange ain't going to let some little spoiled brat tell her what to do. She does not respect anything. She boss adults. Now, why doesn't CNN cover that? That's what I'm saying. Why haven't they covered all that? See what what Serena Williams used to look like, and then she started looking like Tina Turner with too much makeup on. And we covered that on the Patreon as well. Make sure y'all get the Casino for Life Patreon. I keep telling you, you're missing out. Well, we already told you. The demon of the industry. And they all run to her. A woman who's a known witch. They see movies like Weapons and think it's a joke. They say, oh, she's a fashion guru. No, she's not. She's a witch. And Hollywood, they all cater to her, bow to her. Can't be around that. I know it's a lot to take in. The shock and awe of it. Hollywood. That's how they move. I already showed you what goes on behind the scenes. You see, they get these girls there. This is the lady that tells them how to talk to the celebrities, what to do. This is how you treat them. And these girls are young. They groom them. They put them in a house and they let them live in the house and they tell them, this is what you do. This is how you're going to present yourself. This is how you're going to sit at the table. When you're with them, this is what you do. You put your hand here, you do that, so you know how to be. You're dealing with a high-priced client. This is how it works. How I know all this stuff? I must know people in Hollywood. I must know how this is done. I told you, I don't make nothing up. This is all facts. This is all real. And if you was on my Patreon, you would already be up to date. So that's why I tell you, you subscribe to the Casino for Life Patreon. You think Key and Peele blew up because they're funny? Really? That's why they blew up? They were just funny? They were funny, all right. Uh, mm. I'm gonna do my prediction on that. Yeah. Oh, well, when you have nightmares When you get threats, have I been threatened? Of course I've been threatened. But there's too much involved in it, right? But let's go to the thing that can't escape. What made the difference? When Jay was the young haircut dude, and you know about this, right? The girl name was Corey, just like Jay. That's how they connected. His name's Corey, and his parents and friends call him Corey, and her nickname is Corey. Uh-oh, the people watching. Now, Corey ended up losing her life, right? Right when Jay-Z found out Beyonce was pregnant and she was having a baby. All of a sudden, let me show you something. See, that's her. And she's got a ring on, not a wedding ring. She's got a huge diamond on her hand. That's Corey. When she was found deceased, that ring wasn't found. Now, she's reportedly had an aneurysm and just passed out right before she was going to go on a radio station of her friend and announce everything about the relationship with her and Jay-Z and talk about it. She has a miracle seizure, just a bad luck seizure, and passed out and lost her life. This ring, where is it? No one ever found the ring. You know who had a ring like that? Who had it on their finger? Don't say. Don't say. Did I make it up, or is that the ring? How did Beyonce get that ring? Off a dead woman? It ain't the same ring. Oh, that's the same ring, buddy. And they didn't investigate the case. You don't mess with these people. Oh, Jay-Z probably bought 2 rings. Then why wasn't it found with her body? You think this woman would have took this ring off? You think that woman would have took that ring off? And just so happened Beyonce has it on after she's gone? You zoom in on the ring. Look, they zoomed in on the ring. Beyonce never wore that ring again. You want to find out all the rest? Go watch it on the Patreon. We got the whole video. We told you what was going on, didn't we? That's why you don't mess with them peoples. Yeah, the full video's on the Patreon. So when I told y'all what was real, Jay put a ring on it. He gave Corey that ring. She was proud of it because Jay gave her that ring. She couldn't afford that ring. She was happy. Jay gave her that ring. and made promises like I'm gonna leave Beyonce, you just gonna be us, all the blah blah blah, right? Then right after that, Beyonce pops up with the ring on her hand. Does that look like the same ring to you? I'm just saying. So I wouldn't mess with them people. Mm-hmm. Well, Big BG London, you just go to the search, type in what you want to see. There's over 3,000 different items on the Patreon. So you type in what you want to see in the search bar. You type in entertainment or whatever thing that you want to see, and it pops up. That's right, Don. It's like, y'all better get with the program. It's really not a promotion for Patreon, really. It's just that's where I put the majority of the stuff because I wanted you to know that I've been on top of this the whole time. I've been monitoring their behavior. I've been knowing what's going on behind the scenes. That's how I knew what happened with Beyonce and her sister. No, it's because there's so much that people don't understand. If you want to get to the age of 70, 80 years into to that realm, you got to understand that this thing is far deeper than what you can ever imagine. You have to understand that these people play by different rules. You know, it comes to people at a price. And when they get you to sign in and you know, register and go through all of these different scenarios, and it's just bad. Like, for instance, there was an artist that was signed to Jay-Z. Jay-Z is supposed to make this guy a star. And when they tried to do When Doves Cry, Prince, you know, had When Doves Cry, the song with Prince. Doom, 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 doom. And the artist wanted to use the Prince sample that just like it was a string on it. Like, doom, 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 doom. It was like, and it was in the beat. And once they found out, Jay loved it. Jay was, oh man, it's gonna be great. So he tried to get Prince's approval for the When Doves Cry, but he had to get Prince's approval. He tried to go through Prince and go straight to Warner Brothers, and that wasn't gonna happen. So Jay wanted to take the track from the artist and try to disguise it so that he could disguise the When Doves Cry hit. So they put the song out, and Prince recognized it immediately and said, that's my song. And they tried to put everything on top of it to disguise it like it wasn't. And Prince knew, that's my song. So once they told him that was my song and that was that, he had to pay. Prince had, Jay-Z and Rock Nation, they had to pay. So well, yeah, he charged them. They end up having to pay I don't know if you guys remember, Freedom got an AK by Freedom got an AK by who was that? The Lynch Mob, Gorillas in the Mist. Do you remember that? And Prince had this song called Get Off. And he has this solo where he screams, "Ooh, ooh, ooh." That right there, they took that and made a beat around that. Freedom got an AK and made a music video for it, everything. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, they got paid through the nose. Prince got paid through the nose just for that sample. So they took the sample. You ain't hear the song no more on the radio or nothing. It was their second single, they follow-up single. That used to be my song there. Shoot 'em up, shoot 'em up. Oh yeah, talking like that, I have 'em all scared. Don't come to me with no petition. Just come to me with ammunition. Cause the boom, boom, pop, pop, ping, ping, pow, pow used to be a thing, but Trick, how you like me now? Hey man, that used to be my song. The AK talk and bullshit runs. I wish I had time to count all my guns. It's been so long since the majority of these people have been involved in so many different aspects and elements of people's lives and the neighborhoods and how they get down, how they don't get down. It's all about what you want to do in your life, how you want to be represented or remembered. No, Hollywood has the game that they play. Like there are certain ways women have to be around these men. Do you really think that's Jay-Z's hair? Jay-Z started growing his hair out at 40 and he can grow that much hair? Come on now. That dude got an extension. He got extensions and sew-ins just like damn Beyonce. Them damn doo-doo long dreadlocks he got, you don't see not one gray hair in there. Stop playing. Jay-Z damn near 60. If somebody grab Jay-Z's dreads and pull on him, that thing will come off. Jay-Z has rocked a low cut his entire life. He got longer hair than his damn sisters. How you gonna have longer hair than your sisters and your mama? Get the hell up out of here. Very interesting, but that's a very interesting point. But you got to think about it like this. If you feel that way, no, most people in this game is like, okay, let's say this person do X, Y, and Z. I know what you're saying, but let's say, it goes in this direction that we're talking about now, right? How do you think Hollywood people deal with each other? How do you think they get these women? You think they just walk in there and the women are just there? No, they don't really walk. They deal with a person that pretty much runs an organization, housing models, supermodels. All these women these models, they be married to a model. No, these women are trained and taught how to be with rich men or men with means. If they want to go on a dating site, you think they go on Tinder or something like that? That's for y'all, the general people. No, they go to sites where women are there that deal with men with means. You have to have certain amount of money to be on some of these sites. So that's the screening process is strenuous. They know it ain't gonna be no fake person there. You ain't setting yourself up to be robbed. No, it's actually gonna be the person. So when you show up there, it's gonna be an entirely different situation for you. Yeah, altogether. It's a little bit more extenuous, it's a little bit more strenuous than that. But yeah. So let me get this straight. You mean to tell me there is a reason behind everything that's going on and your decisions? No. See, let me tell you. This is why Jay didn't want Beyonce around Kim Kardashian, because she came up off of a sex tape. So they didn't want nothing to do with her. Kanye brought her into the field. Once he cleaned up her image, which he did, rebranded her, that's when Jay decided that, hell, I need to rebrand. He said, man, if she could do that and get away with it, I could be able to rebrand. Because he wanted to get through and get to a whole nother situation. Mm-hmm. I kid you not, man. And now Kim Kardashian has rebranded herself and came up heavy. Jay rebranded himself when he came back as a damn Rastafarian. Now, why did he do that? He went to London, England, sat down with the big execs over there, with Live Nation, and they said, well, we don't want you to do the gangster rap or be associated with people like Benny Siegel, State Property, all those guys. We can't have you, Jay-Z, hanging out with them.
These crystals
that don't make any sense.
They are reflections of belief, of trauma, of control.
So when they tell you they don't want these people around, or they don't want that kind of energy, they want you to hang around these new people, or this deal ain't gonna work. But they're gonna always associate with you because they see you and you look just like the Jay-Z that was on stage with Benny Siegel and all these people. Gotta reinvent yourself. See, Shannon Sharp's doing it now. Now he turning into Grandpa Shannon. Shannon ain't never had a beard in his life. Shannon, he would cut off hair. He wouldn't, no mustache, nothing. Because when they type in Shannon Sharp, they don't want you to see that rebranding. So when you type in They want you to get used to seeing this Shannon. Grandpa Shannon. Remember Steve Harvey did that? He tried to go to Grandpa Steve, then he started losing his appeal because he thought he could retire and wind down. And they was like, no, Negro, you need to get back to work. So he cut that off, went and got that black mustache back. Now he back out there. He was, dog, I thought I could relax. They was like, nope, put that Mr. Potato Head mustache back on and get back out there. Make us some more money, boy. And who did he get his money from? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? All the way to the floor. Hey, sure enough for sure. Where did he get his money from? Steve Harvey was broken and broke. He was doing comedy specials and was still broke. Kings of Comedy was over and Steve was still out there broke. TV shows, everything, but Steve didn't have nothing. Do you want to know why? Let me tell you why Steve had nothing. Steve Harvey had nothing because he didn't have any major people backing him. He was looked at an old relic around black people. He was in Love Don't Cost a Thing. He was doing You Got Served. So now everybody's invested. They are all vested into the process of what's going on. Now, when you look at all of the information and you start to see the great picture and the great things of what's going on, now you see the real problem of what's happening, don't you? You see the very big picture. Steve is owned by two white people in the entertainment world that got behind Steve and said, Steve, we're going to push you. That was Ellen DeGeneres and Dr. Phil. Those two giants in the media entertainment field, they own Steve Harvey. Even though Ellen got in a whole lot of trouble, they still own him. Ellen got in all that trouble, and who owned Ellen? That's the route they chose to go down. Well, let's take him to another plan. Steve Harvey Walk of Fame, right? Remember that? He had the Steve Harvey Hollywood Walk of Fame. Who was at his Walk of Fame? These the guys from the Walk of Fame, right? That pulled the rug out. Who the two people there? Dr. Phil, Ellen DeGeneres, Steve Harvey. Why would these two white folks come out? I don't be lying to y'all. I tell y'all who owned who. He's owned by these two white people. They own Steve. I don't be lying to y'all. He's in that group. His own wife, Marjorie, ain't even there yet. They were like, you come on over here. Now, his kids ain't there. His kids ain't there for this moment. These are the people that gave him the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Your children ain't there with you when you take this picture. Just Marjorie. Right? And these two. Ellen and Dr. Phil. And you think it's a joke how he got to be the host of Family Feud? How he got his own show, Steve? Primetime network television deals? They ain't eating off Steve. And he just a cheesing and a grinning, just as happy as he could be with his owners. Not his kids. Yeah, I tell you, shoot, I'll be all kinds of monkey. I'll be any kind of 12 million. Shoot, I'll be any kind of monkey you want me to be. I told you, these people hang in groups. Now, Live Nation, they own Jay-Z and Beyonce. Own them both. They told Jay to change his image. He did. He got rid of everybody at Rock Nation, started going away from rap. None of that hardcore stuff. Now he's with Alicia Keys and doing all these other songs. He's going into a pop artist, rock. Because he admired that. He always did. From his very first video. What others worship guns, I worship tons of money, tons of fun, laughing at things that ain't even funny. He told you. Told you from the beginning, he loves money. Jay-Z family was living in Marcy, and this dude had about $300,000 saved up from drug money. And his family was still living in Marcy. Marcy Projects. Let me rephrase that. Let me tell you Jay-Z's deal, okay? This is what it was when he first got the deal. This was about 14, 15 years ago, right? When he first got the deal, it was a 10-year deal with Live Nation. They said, we're going to give you $25 million in advance. Then we're going to give you $10 million advance for each 3 albums that you do. We want 3 albums from you. And we're going to give you $10 million in advance. All right? Then we're going to give you a licensing deal. Right? We're going to pay you $20 million for your licensing rights. Then we're going to give you $5 million per year to Roc Nation, which is nothing but they're paying themselves. And he's getting paid to have Roc Nation. He's getting $5 million per year as a contribution to Roc Nation, which means that's part of them. Live Nation, Roc Nation, we just, you can have that. Then we're going to do $25 million for any financial acquisitions and investments. So $25 million are going into investments. So what type of investments do you think? All the investments Live Nation is interested in, that they don't want people to be connected to them, so they're going to just say it was a Roc Nation thing. Brilliant. Right? So if something ever goes wrong, it's going to be on Roc Nation, not Live Nation. Beautiful, beautiful. So then he signs this 360 deal. And then 4 or 5 years later, because they get to eat off all of his shows, Jay-Z renegotiates. And he inked a $200 million 10-year extension with Live Nation, where he can keep his performing artist money. So now they get to eat off everything else. He's got a better percentage of his show deals. Fat Joe signed with Roc Nation. What did Fat Joe do? Fat Joe was the toughest dun dada there was. Street gangster dude, right? Now he's all joyful, playful. Yo, that's a Jofer moment. A Jofer moment? Like, what the hell are you doing? He was on Instagram doing all of these videos before he started doing a podcast. Changed his whole image. Started sticking Ozempic needles up in his ass. Now he used to be Fat Joe. He was Fat Joe the gangster. Then now he's Fat Joe. And Desiree Perez and Roc Nation negotiating deals and got it increased from $1 million to $3 million for him. Seems like, oh, they can do that for you? Well, we're going to have them increase it. Kathy White, aka Corey. She didn't go by her first name. Everybody called her Corey. So, yeah, well, you got to think about it. How do you think these deals get made and how they get done? Why do you think Memphis Bleak is straight? He got the approval of restaurants, everything. Memphis Bleak had to change himself up too. When you hanging around Jay and you invited to be around Jay at these events, look, he's got the whole dome out. Bleak know what's up. Him and the wife there, they at Jay's event. No, Jay didn't like the embarrassment. Well, the thing of it is that now that the streaming rights have went through, Jay-Z and Beyonce have to get their money through shows and everywhere else, you know, but the show's money is not what it used to be. So everybody's got a tour, but the show money isn't been what it's supposed to be. But when you're Jay-Z and Beyonce, you get tours. So the tours are going to guarantee at least 300 something million. So Jay-Z's got to get himself ready for another tour because they took out a massive loan when they went for that casino. Jay-Z is wealthy, but on paper, he's not liquid rich. You know, everything they have has to go through their extensions of their business. He has things that appreciate with value. But with artists like MIA, who was, her child was taken from her by this rich billionaire, Jay-Z goes over there and do business with him, and Jay ends up siding with them. And they got Adele and everybody else in there. All of them involved. They're all in cahoots. And they took her song and flipped it and made Swagger Like Us and gave it to T.I. now. Then they start giving all her music to like Rihanna and Beyonce. And it's like, oh, okay. She saw the play. Yeah, that Paper Planes, that whole album she had, that sound with the gunshots going off in the background, and that was played on the radio. Next thing you know, who started sounding like her? Who started doing cadence like her? Rihanna. Who had Riri? They did. Who allegedly slept with Riri to seal the deal? Don't look at me. Look at them. 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 Didn't I say don't look at me? Look at them. Of course. But Rihanna, when she got into her seasoned abilities, she knew what she wanted her sound to be like. She knew what in the world she wanted everything to resemble. She knew everything that she wanted and wanted to achieve. Now, she knows she can't get that. Right, she can't get there if she's gonna sit there and be under this umbrella of them. People forget Rihanna had like 3 albums out before Umbrella blew up. Rihanna came to the United States by 2 white men that's believed in her and brought her over and negotiated the contract. Rihanna was allegedly sleeping with one of the white men that brought her over here. She was like 16, 17 years old. There's a lot of people out there who don't get it. You understand? There's a lot of poison in the world. A lot of toxicity in the world. So when you start making excuses for you not being successful, and don't realize it's like, oh, they just take the best people. They only want the best of the best. Like, no, they just want the best people. They want the best people. You think the most talented singers are the popular ones? No. They background singers can sing better than them. Whitney Houston couldn't write a song to save her life, but she could sing. She was the voice. All about my image. Well, yeah, they mean she other people was writing these songs hoping to get record deals and couldn't get signed. You know, Clive Davis would buy the song from him saying, hey, look, you got a good song here. I just think that we need a stronger artist. I don't want to sign you to a deal, but I do want to buy the song from you. I think the song is good. So these songs was bought. And they ended up on Whitney Houston's debut album. And all these artists who are listening to these songs knowing that they wrote them. But Whitney Houston is singing them. Now Whitney made them hit, and she had to put her vocals to it. Then they start putting talented writers around her who could just write her some songs. But to get her in the urban charts, they had to go search through some tapes. What's up, New Zealand in the house? Oh yeah, definitely, man. My Cash App is Carceno, Karceno. You want to donate to a Cash App? We can keep doing videos like this. It don't matter. I told you, I opened up the business. I showed you guys exactly what's happening behind that door. Because it's a wicked world out there. Not really, Teddy. If someone buys it from you, you know, they're not licensing the song from you. Your residuals are gonna go to the company that bought it. They'll pay you a flat rate for the song, and your money stops right there. You're getting nothing else from the song. All your residuals, your rights, writing, mechanical royalties, and all that for that record. Or any points that you thought you had depends on what kind of deal. If they pay you a flat fee rate, that's it. Everything else is going to the company. It's not going to you. So Clive Davis was paid by Arista. They were buying the records. And people was like, man, I didn't get a deal. And they was like, well, keep coming up with hits and then you might get signed to a deal. You know, but other than that, he was just buying the records. And then having his artists sing them. Yeah, Whitney be listening to the song and she like it. She be, ooh, I like that one. Oh yeah, I want that one. Give me that one. I'll sing that one. So she'll go in there and learn the song. They'll have the hook, the whole song be done. Then but when Whitney sing it, it's different. Like Jill Scott did that song that, you know that you got me. Before anybody knew who Jill Scott was, she did that song with the Roots. Then they got Erykah Badu to do it over. And Jill Scott was on the original, and she never knew. You got me. Like Jennifer Lopez's entire success come from Ashanti. Ashanti was singing on those songs, and they ended up giving them to Jennifer Lopez. Her first 2 hit singles. Like, Ain't That Funny and I'm Real. 'Cause I'm real and I don't know about you. No, Ashanti couldn't sing. She slept her way down to Hollywood. I used to have the tape. I used to have a sex tape of Aaliyah getting banged in the back of a car. I had to take it down. That's how she even got to New York. The dude snapped it. He had a video of him. He was videotaping him sleeping with her on the way there. I still got that footage somewhere. But I'm quite sure you can find it. It's not that hard to find. Yeah. She couldn't sing. Think about it. All Ashanti songs are remixes of somebody else's song. The Mary Jane song with Scarface. Baby, 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 baby. The Biggie Smalls remix. It's like everything was a remix song, and Ashanti was singing them. She never had any real vocals. That Always on Time is my favorite song they ever did together. Might not be there when you call, but I'm always on time. But yeah, I'm real. That's not even Jennifer Lopez singing that. You hear nothing but Ashanti on the record. Oh yeah, look at that. Remember, this was nothing is here. This is less than a year old, and they still building on it. See, they still build. They got to build the rest of that. All of this real estate. Ukrainian immigrants. See, Trump filling them up, buddy. Told y'all. They ain't trying to kick them out. I tell you, man, this game is crazy. So we'll leave it here, and hopefully we'll get back together again. We'll see what happens. I'm out.